Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Madden 22 Ultimate Team video, and today we are going to be talking about the brand new team captains and the veterans cards, and we're going to be ranking them on how much I think you guys should get them and which ones I think you guys should be getting, which ones you should be selecting out of your free packs, obviously, and all that kind of stuff. But before we get into the rest of the video, guys, make sure you guys drop a like down below and subscribe with notifications on if you guys have been enjoying the vids and you do not want to miss any coming out in the future. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off, I wanted to show you guys this screen just to remind you what team captains are going to look like this year. As you guys can see, we got the 3 times team chemistry in the beginning, so whatever team you want your team captain to be, you can get 3 times that. The campaign week 3 is when you're going to go ahead and get them. If you guys do not know what that is, check out my video that I uploaded yesterday going down and breaking down what they said on the stream yesterday. And then each ability costs 5 training, and then each Superstar X Factor costs 10 training. So you're going to be able to try out new abilities on these team captains. That's what they said they were going for this year with these guys, is they are brand new ways that you can try out new abilities that you haven't used yet for cheap. And I think that's really cool. And to upgrade from 85 to 89, it is going to be 5 training per upgrade. So it's going to be around 20 training in total to upgrade these guys. But that is enough said, and that is kind of summarizing what these team captains are going to be this year. It's much simpler than last year, and I really like that. I don't know how they're going to get upgraded throughout the year. I know it's probably going to be through the 90-day program system that they're doing. So we'll have to see. But starting off at number 4, like I said, I'm going to be ranking these guys 4 to 1 on which one I think you should be choosing. At number 4, I'm going to be going with Shaun Alexander. I don't know. I've never been a fan of power backs when it comes to Ultimate Team, other than like Jim Brown, and that's just because he always has really good speed. Now 86 speed is pretty solid, and obviously the 89 truck and the 88 break tackle are good, but I'm not a fan of that low agility. And overall, halfbacks are going to be very easy to come across, and I just don't think, unless you're a Seahawks fan or like a football team fan, there's no real point in taking a Shaun Alexander, just because you can get so many other halfbacks. You can take the Zeke from the veterans pack if you want. There's a lot of different things you can do, halfbacks. And plus, with halfbacks, and I stand by this with quarterbacks, don't lock yourself into having a halfback. Obviously, you can change these at any time you want. If you really want to try Shaun Alexander, I would recommend trying him. But don't lock yourself into a halfback or quarterback, because normally throughout the year you're going to want to try new quarterbacks, new halfbacks, because they're the most used positions. You want to try out new ones. Same with receivers, but obviously receivers are different because you have 5 of them. So that's how I feel. If you guys want to take Shaun Alexander, you can do it. He's a really good halfback, but I just don't want to lock myself into a halfback day one. Especially one that I'm not a huge fan of. But Shaun Alexander, he's pretty solid. And at number 3, I'm going to be going with John Lynch. Now, John Lynch, one of my favorite players of all time. Big fan. I love what he's doing for the 49ers and stuff. 6'2", 220. He's a very big safety. 89 hit power, 87 zone, 86 speed, 88 excel. He is a very good safety, man. And I think he's going to be really solid, man. 86 speed is pretty dang solid for a guy who has the hit power that he does. And we'll have to see what the thresholds are for zone coverage and all that kind of stuff, and how big of a factor hit power is this year, because last year wasn't that big. Back in 20, it was very big. So we'll have to see what these things take into account and how much they matter. But John Lynch looks very solid. I don't quite like him as much as the other two, especially at the fact that safeties, once again, they're very easy to come across, and you want to get a safety that you really like, because they're one of the most used positions on defense, especially with the fact that a lot of people use them. So you just want to make sure you make the right decision there and take the safety that you want. And if you're a Bucks fan or you're a Broncos fan, of course you can take John Lynch. He's a really solid safety. But moving on to number 2, I'm going to have Jack Youngblood. Having as many good pass rushers at the beginning of the game is super important, and a guy with this kind of size and this kind of speed, with this kind of pass rush ability early in the game, is really good. Jack Youngblood can play on the interior and the exterior. He's got 82 speed, he's got good size, 86 block shed, 86 power move, 88 finesse move. Looks really good. He's really agile for a guy of his size, and he's really powerful for a guy of his size. He's kind of in that middle realm where he's kind of good at everything, man, and it's really good to see. He's definitely going to be the best day 1 edge rusher, maybe other than Aaron Donald. So I think getting this Jack Youngblood is almost essential, unless you're going to go with this number 1 guy, which I am torn who I'm going to go with. I still don't know whether I'm going to go with Jack Youngblood, John Lynch, or this number 1 guy. Obviously, you know who it is, Lance Allworth. I'm definitely not going with Sean Alexander just because I don't want a halfback, but honestly, any three of these guys are really good choices. This is just how I would do it. Number one, I'm going to have Lance Allworth just because receivers, depth position, you can have 5 receivers that you have on your roster, 4 that you actually use in-game, sometimes even 5 you use. So Lance Allworth is really good, and plus, he's got 88 speed, which is really, really good, man. That is 1 lower than Tyreek Hill and 3 lower than Jamar Chase. So he's up there with some of the top speed guys in the game. But another thing is this guy's route running is unbelievable. 89 deep, 87 mid, 87 short. He's going to be routing corners up. Not a lot of guys are going to be able to keep up with him. Only the guys that are going to be able to keep up with him are like Jalen Ramsey, maybe Dion, a couple guys maybe like Jair Alexander. But that route running is just dangerous, man. Although he may not burn you, but he's got some wheels on him. He might just cross you up and make you fall to the ground, twist your ankles around. Because Lance Allworth looks unbelievable, man. I think I'm probably going to go with this card, but we'll have to see how I'm feeling day one, what my team's going to be looking like, and what kind of coins I can get my hands on. But that was my ranking of the team captains. But like I said, we also got some veterans cards to rank. If you guys don't know what those are the veteran cards that you get depending on how many Maddens you've played in the past. So let's go check those out. So as you guys can see, here's what it looks like. It is the Madden veteran bonus. If you played any combination of Madden 19, 20, or 21, then you're eligible for a special reward. Obviously, I played all 3, so I'm going to go ahead and get all 3. But if you played 2, you're going to get 2. You played 1, you're going to get 1. Simple stuff like that. And out of those packs, you're going to get yourself one of these 82s. You're going to get Zeke, AJ Brown, Richie Incognito, Akeem Hicks, Zadarius Smith, and Marcus Peters. Like I said, you can choose up to 3 of these guys depending on how many Maddens you've played in the past. So we're maybe gonna be able to get ourselves some pretty solid core elites at the beginning of the game, especially some depth position guys and some O-line help, which would be really, really nice. But let's go ahead and get into my ranking of these guys and look at their stats. Sadly, at number 6, I do have to put Akeem Hicks here. I love Akeem Hicks in real life. He's quite the character, and he's very funny. But there's just not much use for this card. I don't know if they're going to make him D-tackle primary or if they're going to make him an end. But he's definitely going to have to either be in a 3-4 or you're going to have to play him at D-tackle just because of that 57 speed, man. He cannot rush from the edge. He's not fast enough. He doesn't have a good enough finesse move. And overall, he just doesn't look that great. He's got really solid strength and good block shed, but other than that, he's not going to get to the quarterback with that kind of speed. Just not a fan. Not a fan of this card. Won't be very, very good. So he's coming in at my number 6 spot. At my number 5 spot, I'm going to go with Zadarius Smith. Now, like I said with Jack Youngblood, it is very important to get pass rushers in the game early. But Zadarius Smith, I don't know, man. That 69 finesse move is scary. He's not particularly fast. He's got solid speed, but that finesse move is really scary. And he's not great at one thing. He's just very, very okay at everything, and I think I'd rather save my coins and get like an Aaron Donald or get like a JJ Watt or get Jack Youngblood than rather settling with the Zadarius Smith when there's other guys in this veteran pack that you can take. But yeah, he comes in at number 5 for me. Solid card, but just not good enough to compete with the rest of the guys. At number 4, I'm going to go with Zeke. Now, the reason I have a running back so high is because Zeke could be a really solid number 2 on your team if you have him, bring him in on the goal line. He's relatively big for a running back. He's got pretty good size, and he's got really, really solid break tackle, good trucking. He's a very well-balanced running back, although he can't really catch out the backfield. He's got solid speed, really good agility, solid trucking, and break tackle. So like I said, you can run this guy at the number 2 if you pick up a better running back later down the road, or if you're just trying to get a running back to do challenges with. Zeke's not a bad option as well, because I wouldn't imagine this card stays on your team too long, but he's going to be a really, really good short-term option to get, like I said, challenges done. And also, if you want to have measure number 2, that's not bad at all either, but he honestly looks like a really solid budget beast card, Zeke. So he comes in at the number 4 spot. Now, it hurts me to put a receiver this low, but AJ Brown is going to be going at number 3. The 2 guys above him are honestly really, really good cards for 82 overall, but AJ Brown is very, very solid. He's got really, really solid speed. He's like 6'2", 6'3", so he's pretty tall. Relatively solid route running, good catching stats, very, very balanced card, and overall just a good receiver to have at the beginning of the game for challenges, and not a bad 4 or 5 for a couple weeks in the game, but obviously you're going to get better as time goes on. But AJ Brown, pretty solid, nothing special, but an okay receiver. Depth position, you can always get more, so never too bad to take a receiver in this situation. Oh, and also guys, these top 3 guys are who I'm going to be taking, so you can take that into account. This isn't just me rambling. These top 3 guys are who I'm going to be taking from these packs. At number 2, I got Richie Incognito. O-linemen are incredibly hard to come across at the beginning of the game because the top tier ones are just so dang expensive. So getting some low tier O-linemen who are really solid is very, very good, especially Richie Incognito, man. He's always been one of the better O-linemen in the league, and he's got really, really good strength, great awareness, a very, very good balanced blocking pattern. He's got 78 pass block, 82 run block. He's just going to be able to hold up pretty well, and you could honestly keep this as your guard for a couple weeks. You want to power him up, maybe keep him there for a while. Definitely not a bad idea, and will help with those challenges as well at the beginning of the game. Richie Incognito, definitely not a bad option at your guard position. And finally, at the number 1 spot, I'm going to be going with Marcus Peters. Now, obviously, there are going to be a lot of fast corners. If you got J.C. Horn from the Rookie Premier, you can use him. And there's a bunch of other guys, Jair Alexander, Jalen Ramsey. But Marcus Peters is the perfect slot guy with that kind of speed. It's not crazy speed, but it's good enough to keep up with some guys. He's really agile, got solid, very well balanced coverages. He's going to be able to hold up in almost anything you run. And obviously, he can't be your main corner. He's just not quite good enough for that. But if you get your hands on like a Jalen Ramsey or a J.C. Horn, Peters can be your number 2 or your number 3 or your nickel, like I said, and run that role. And because he's a corner, he can go in depth positions and just play a little less but still get out there on the field. You could be using this card for a couple weeks if you're really milking it out. This Marcus Peters honestly looks like a very, very solid card, and one of the more budget core elites that even if you don't take him out of this pack and you need a third corner, you might consider buying this card off the auction block because he will not be that expensive. But I like Marcus Peters a lot, man. He looks really, really solid. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. We ranked all of the veteran cards and all of the team captain cards on who I would pick and who I suggest you guys pick. I feel like it's pretty simple once you put your mind to it on who you're supposed to pick. It's a pretty simple concept. Just this is me trying to help you guys out. But yeah, guys, that is going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe with noties on. But yeah, I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace out.